I gave him to God.
You gave him to God today?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake, and I gave him to God.
This is the exact moment Ruth Miller confessed to killing her 4-year-old son by offering him to God.
We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
On August 23, 2025, deputies from the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Office rushed to Atwood Lake Park after a frantic 911 call reported that a woman had driven a golf cart into the lake with 3 children trapped inside. And that woman was Ruth Miller, the woman you're seeing right now.
Please show this woman that it is true what I'm telling you. People are doubting. They are getting harder from me to stay strong. That it is true what I'm telling you. That there is a fish in the bottom of the lake. Please never take me to sit with my children under the tree that you have created. Please, Lord.
Ruth Miller was a 40-year-old mother of 4 from Holmes County, Ohio. She belonged to a strict Amish community and lived with her husband Marcus and their children in a quiet farmhouse. Described by those who knew her as soft-spoken, deeply religious, and traditional, Ruth rarely made waves, but those closest to her would later recall small cracks in her behavior, strange statements, obsessive praying, and a growing intensity in her beliefs. On the morning of August 23rd, Ruth and Marcus packed up the kids for a trip to Atwood Lake Park. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, until it all unraveled. According to statements and police records, Ruth and Marcus believed they were receiving messages from God. Not metaphorical messages, but literal instructions, divine tasks. They believed this trip to the lake was a mission. At some point during the outing, Marcus told Ruth he was going to swim out into the lake to complete one of these tasks. He dove in, and he never came back. Ruth told the children that Marcus had been swallowed by a fish, just like the story of Jonah. And when deputies arrived at Atwood Lake, this was their very first point of view.
I gave him to God.
You gave him to God today?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
I threw him in the lake, and I gave him to God. And people are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real. And he loves you. He really does love you. He loves you. And I doubted him. I doubted him so many times. But I am to tell you, he is coming soon. He is coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close. And I'm for sure supposed to tell you that he does love you. Okay?
While investigators were still trying to wrap their heads around Ruth Miller's chilling claim that she had given her son to God, there was something even more unsettling standing right behind her. 2 young men, her older sons, both 18 years old, stood in silence. Their faces told a story of their own. There was no panic, no visible horror, not even a flicker of shock over what had just happened to their younger brother. And sadly, when officers asked where her husband was, here's what Ruth Miller replied.
Can you explain to me what happened? Who did you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat, and his clothes were there. And God told me he's in the lake, and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. And you will find the fish, and you will find my husband. And then you will believe. But ye of little faith that did not believe before seeing.
Okay.
So send people down to the bottom of the lake looking for a fish.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4. He's sweet. I love him. I gave him to her.
Okay. 7940 Central. We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
When officers pushed for more details, Ruth began to cooperate, offering to help them recover her husband's body, even suggesting they call in the best divers to bring him back to shore. But when it came to her little boy, her tone shifted. She told officers there was no need to search because, in her words, her son was already with God.
So you really...
Awesome.
Okay. They are there. Easy. I yelled at him, and then Pain came back to me. My husband and I both doubted him, and Pain came back to me.
I need to know where your husband's at.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
He's in a fish.
Yes.
There's no fish large enough on an Atwood to swallow your husband.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
Okay.
I thought your husband went for a walk.
Yeah, and then we came to the boat, and his clothes were laying on the boat.
Okay.
Tan
Yeah.
pants and cream shirt and flip-flops.
Do you have a cell phone?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper. Where's your camper at?
I think it's...
Area 3?
I think so. Yeah. It's like a tannish camper.
It's a tannish camper. You don't know what lot number it is?
No.
Well, we really need to verify your husband's still with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Well, he's actually just go out in the bottom of the lake.
Well, I can't go in the bottom of the lake. So
Do you
we
have
need
scuba divers?
Yeah, we're going to have to call divers in to go to the
Okay.
bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
Get the best ones there are. Because this
So-
is a miracle from God. And you will see. You will see.
you're saying your 4-year-old son's down there too?
He's with God.
Where's his body at?
I don't
Where
know.
did you throw him in the water at?
Off of the dock at the causeway.
Where the bike was today?
Where the boat was?
Yeah, where the boat is. Please believe me. I know.
When there's supposed to be ones coming out there.
I think there was one.
Does anybody have a glass of water?
We can get you water.
At that moment, officers realized they weren't speaking to a grieving mother. They were face to face with someone whose mind had slipped into a different world. The normal instinct to save her child was gone, replaced with a cold conviction that his fate was already sealed. To the officers, it was the most chilling sign yet that Ruth Miller was completely lost to delusion.
We're right now we're gonna walk up to the squad, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're gonna put you in the back of the squad.
You will find my husband.
Okay, but you're gonna sit down in the back of the squad for us, okay?
Can I actually just sit with my children and have water?
Yeah, we can bring your children over.
I would love a glass of water.
Let's go up in this one
We'll
over
get
here.
My children are here.
We'll bring them over
bring
in
them
a
over.
minute. Let me go check you out. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Kyle wants you to get you one.
You guys sending the dive team over that way then?
Right.
They're supposed to bring one in over
Which
here.
dock is that so I can tell my
That's
dispatch?
cluster dock, the center cluster dock.
Center
Or,
cluster.
On the causeway. Causeway center cluster dock.
Causeway Center Cluster Dock. 7940 Central. You said it's the Causeway Center Dock, right? Causeway Center Dock. 7940 Central. The mother is advising that her boat is located if you want to log at the Causeway Center Dock, and that's where she threw the child in the water. She's also now saying that the husband's in the water. If you just want to log that and notify the dive team, the Rangers are heading over that way right now.
Her unraveling mental state became undeniable when she suddenly asked an officer to pray with her, pleading for her to believe in her words, before dropping to her knees right there on the spot.
gotta go somewhere where it's not too hard on my knee.
So your knee won't hurt you. Please trust me.
Okay.
It won't hurt you.
Okay.
It won't hurt you. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. God, please show this woman that it is true. But I'm telling you, people are doubting. They are getting harder for me to stay strong. Please show her that it is true what I'm telling you. That there is a fish in the bottom of the lake. Please let her take me to sit with my children under the tree that you have created. Please, Lord.
Hey, listen.
You guys just want to bring her over to that one?
Yeah, we'll take her over
Okay.
that one.
So we can be closer to the rest of everybody else.
Here, have a seat right here. We'll go get your children as soon as they're done.
No, I want to go.
Right here.
What are the kids saying now?
I don't know if they've asked them if there's a little brother and dad or not. I don't think they have.
Okay.
That's it.
And miracles are true. And these two we doubted too, but they are true. They are. And it's amazing. We can't tell them enough. Do you remember when Jesus was on the cross?
Yeah, I remember.
And he put his arms out and he said, "Forgive them, for they know not
Yeah,
what
you
they
told
do."
me that already.
Yes. They didn't know. They didn't know.
Yeah, right.
You are to trust. It's all about trust. It's hard because he does things in mysterious ways.
Sure.
And it's hard because we want to just believe our earthly ways. It is hard. Part of you happy. And part of you happy. Yes.
Go ahead. That's clear.
By this point, divers were already searching the waters of Atwood Lake. And just to give you an idea of the place where this tragedy unfolded, Atwood Lake isn't just a small pond or quiet farm reservoir. It's a sprawling man-made lake in eastern Ohio, stretching across both Carroll and Tuscarawas counties. Created in the 1930s by damming Indian Fork Creek, Atwood covers more than 1,500 acres of water surface, surrounded by nearly 35 miles of shoreline. Sheriff's deputies quickly set up a perimeter around the dock where Marcus had last been seen. His clothes were still there, abandoned neatly at the edge of the pier, suggesting he had gone into the water willingly. Witnesses backed this up, telling investigators they had seen Marcus standing at the dock around 6:30 that same morning, just hours before. With two people now unaccounted for, a father and his young son, the Tuscarawas County dive team was deployed. Divers in full gear entered the lake, beginning their search just 10 feet from the dock where Ruth admitted she had dropped her boy. Visibility in the water was limited, the lake dark and clouded, forcing the divers to work slowly, using sweeping arcs with their hands to feel along the bottom. Hours passed. The surface of the lake looked calm, but beneath it, the divers moved methodically, combing every square foot they could reach. By late afternoon, the search paid off. At approximately 6 o'clock in the evening, a diver surfaced with confirmation of their worst fear. Just 10 feet from the dock, lying beneath the murky water, they had found the body of 4-year-old Vincent Miller. But the search was only half over. Marcus was still missing. That night, crews remained on site, scanning the water with sonar and lights. But the darkness made progress nearly impossible. So at first light the next morning, August 24th, divers returned to the lake. This time, they widened their search perimeter, extending beyond the dock into deeper water. Finally, around 8:30 a.m., almost 24 hours after Marcus had first disappeared, divers located him. His body was recovered approximately 53 yards from the dock, far enough that he had likely tried to swim toward the sandbar, the very task Ruth described as part of their so-called mission from God. 2 lives had been lost, a husband and a son, both taken by the waters of Atwood Lake. And in the middle of it all stood Ruth Miller, calm, detached, watching as her family was pulled from the depths.
The mother and the children were witnessed, huddling very closely, heads touching, praying very intently next to the water by the kayak launch. So much so that it actually scared some witnesses. They thought they were crying, they were emotional, and they didn't know what was going on. That was before the crash or anything. So as the search goes on throughout the day and we're checking bodies of water, we learn about this praying incident at the kayak launch. So we had divers in there as well. That's a very shallow area. It was easy. It was an area that we didn't need to do very much at. But I bring it up because I know the social media community was talking about searching at the kayak. It solely took place because they were praying there, and it was described as a concerning moment, and we decided to check that water.
With the recovery of Marcus and Vincenne's body, the evidence was no longer theoretical. Deputies now had confirmation that Ruth's words on the dock weren't just ramblings of a distraught mother. They were confessions, backed by grim reality. The case moved quickly into the courts. Prosecutors charged Ruth Miller with aggravated murder, child endangerment, and multiple counts of domestic violence. Their argument was straightforward. Ruth had deliberately placed her child in harm's way, knowing the outcome would be fatal. But her defense team told a very different story. They didn't deny what Ruth had done. Instead, they argued why. According to them, Ruth was not in control of her actions on that August morning. She was suffering from what experts described as spiritual delusions, a severe psychotic break that distorted her sense of reality.
We entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity today because based upon the facts of this case, it's very evident that it is fitting. This case would not have happened but for a mental defect that would have prevented Ms. Miller from appreciating the wrongfulness of her conduct.
What happened on that day in your estimation?
Well, there clearly was a serious mental disease that she faced. It was evident to the responding officers, the first responders, and unfortunately it was a tragedy that happened that day. Again, clearly would not have happened but for.
If she is found not guilty by reason of insanity, what happens?
Well, that would be up to the judge, but there would be, it's not as people generally think that if someone's found not guilty by reason of insanity, they're just released to the street. They're released to the custody of a lockdown hospital. They are held until a court is convinced that they have been rehabilitated, they are safety to themselves and to the community. So it still is a long term of supervision and work.
Did she not admit to doing that?
Well, I don't think that this is an issue of a whodunit. I think everyone recognizes the fact that that she did do it, but that's just one part of it. That's the act. The big question in this case is the why it was done, and that's what this whole case is going to be about, is the why. How did this happen?
I know you cannot say everything she said, but has she shared with you her feelings about what happened on the 23rd?
Well, you know, she's obviously devastated by what occurred. This is not something by any stretch of the imagination where we could think that someone would wake up and destroy not just their life but the life of their child. I mean, something is wrong, and that's what we're getting to the bottom of now. But obviously she's devastated with what's happened. She is, her family is, everyone is.
Has the family and the Amish community, are they supporting her through this? I know they tried to help her and her husband.
Yeah, so what we have received is support from family and from community members who have known her entire life. What happened on August 23rd, that person is not the person that they know. That's the person that they all believe was the victim of a mental health episode. And so they are supportive of her and want to know also how could this have happened, and look at her as a victim of mental health. We all know that mental health is a tremendous issue in the community, and we saw it here clear as day, and we saw it in its worst form as to what could happen to someone facing a mental health issue, and certainly unchecked.
Can you speak to what may have precipitated her mental episode as you might describe it?
What do you mean, what may have precipitated it?
Why on that day did she go out, admittedly, and toss her child into the lake?
Yeah, so I think what we have, and I think you've seen them, I know your station has seen them also and posted them, the body cams from the first responders. We see in real time, we saw raw footage of what was going on in her mind and what she was reacting to and so forth. I think this case, what you're going to see in this case is one centered around mental health, and you're going to see the input of many different experts in many different fields who are going to be talking about that exact question that you just posed. So I think what we're going to need on this is time to really figure it out, and just making a quick statement would be nothing beyond speculation.
To support this, psychologists were brought in. They explained how Ruth genuinely believed she was following divine instruction, that her son's death wasn't a crime in her mind, but a sacrifice, an offering she believed God had demanded. Every statement she made to deputies, from Marcus being swallowed by a fish to Vincent already being with God, reinforced this idea. Inside the courtroom, these words echoed like a haunting refrain. But the judge was not convinced.
Found there was probable cause to believe that Ruth R. Miller did purposefully cause the death of a child victim designated as child victim 1, who was under the age of 13 years of age at the time of the commission of the offense. And they go on to specify that the birth date for the child is October the 12th of 2020. Count 2, murder. It's also an unclassified felony under 2903.02B, 2903.02D, and 2929.02B of the code sections which they cite. The grand jury again concluded that there was probable cause to believe that you, the defendant in this matter, on or about August the 23rd of 2025, unlawfully did cause the death of child victim 1 as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, known as felonious assault under 2903.11A1 of the revised code.
On September 9, 2025, the court reached its final decision. Ruth Miller was found guilty of aggravated murder and multiple related charges. The judge rejected the insanity defense, ruling that despite her claims of hearing divine instructions, Ruth had knowingly and deliberately taken the life of her 4-year-old son. The sentence was severe and absolute. Life in prison, without the possibility of parole. With that, Ruth Miller was led away. For many, the outcome brought a measure of justice, but it also raised difficult questions about faith, mental health, and the fragile line where belief turns into delusion. Could this tragedy have been prevented if warning signs had been recognized sooner? Or was it always destined to end in tragedy the moment Ruth's visions began to control her? Thank you for watching. If you found this case as haunting as we did, please subscribe for more true crime documentaries. And let us know in the comments, do you believe Ruth Miller was driven by insanity? Or was she fully aware of her actions? We'll see you in the next one.
People are on the floor. There's someone ran a car inside. There's children everywhere.
This is Marcella Chidester, and she has just realized she is responsible for the death of 8-year-old Elena Phillips and 4-year-old Zane Phillips.
In the name of Jesus, please God, in the name of Jesus.
Skinner County 91 operator.
We're at Swan Boat Club in an explosion. A Swan Boat Club in Newport just drove through the building.
But how did a children's birthday party turn into tragedy?
You probably are the most hated person in the United States.
Was it all just a horrific accident, or something more sinister?
So you woke up in the police car?
Yeah.
Okay. And then basically you didn't know the events after that?
No, I don't recall anything prior to that at all.
Detectives would soon start to discover the horrifying truth. On April 20th, 2024, children were celebrating a birthday party at the Monroe County Swan Boat Club. It was filled with fun and laughter, just like so many other birthday parties. There were cards, gifts, and all kinds of party games. No one had any reason to suspect that anything was going to go wrong that day. That was, until sudden devastation struck.
Okay. You may need oxygen.
So when we got here, there's all kinds of people all over. A whole bunch of people's already been transported by ambulances to different hospitals, but there is a large amount of people still inside here, family members, people that were at the party.
Okay. If one out of the Naga patients, some of them that would be. So we're cutting down people. So.
Yeah, scissors on you.
How you doing?
Yeah. You got scissors on you, Schmidt?
Scissors? No, I do not.
I got scissors in my truck, but...
Emergency services were immediately called, and police and ambulances were quickly on the scene, treating the injured kids and trying to get the confusing and inexplicable situation under control. A car, driven by Marshella Chidester, unexpectedly sped from the road, across a parking lot, and into the boat club.
No, you're lying. This is a dream. This is a fucking dream right now, bro. Please wake me up. Please, I'm begging you, wake me up. No, right now. He's fucking lying, bro. Please, he's fucking lying. Bro, please, he's lying. Please tell me he's lying. Please. There's no fucking way. They just was with me. No, bro, he's fucking lying.
Unfortunately, amongst the injured, there were also dead. Families and friends reacted with understandable horror and grief. The woman who had been behind the wheel, Marshella, was slightly injured, but soon it was clear she was not just a victim. She was taken into custody, and detectives prepared to question her while officers tried to get to the bottom of what had gone so wrong that day. Was the crash caused by a simple yet devastating mechanical failure, or was there something else behind Marshella's actions that day? Elena and Zane were like any other kids. They had family and friends who loved them, and as such, they had been invited to a birthday party at the Swan Boat Club. The large function room in the club was going to host a fun and entertaining party where friends could play and celebrate a special day together. And it was something both Elena and Zane had been looking forward to. At only 4 and 8 years of age, the two children were the apple of their parents' eyes and needed all the love and protection they could get. The day of the birthday party had started with excitement and smiles, and no one could have predicted the dramatic turn of events that was to come. Any death is tragic, but the fact that Elena and Zane were so young and innocent makes the story all the more heartbreaking.
Okay, so what happened today? Where were we at today?
I went to lunch with some friends.
Okay, about what time was that?
Noonish.
Okay, so around noon you went to lunch. Do you remember what you ate?
Yep, I had some chili and a fish sandwich.
A fish sandwich? Okay. Where was that at?
At Vernus.
Okay. And then where were you driving to?
Just from Vernus to here.
To here? What were you coming here for?
Home.
Oh, so you're going from Vernus to home?
Yeah.
And you left Vernus at noon?
Yes.
Okay. But then you said you went home first?
I'm home here.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to go from Vernus to home?
Yes.
How long were you at Vernus then?
Maybe an hour. Not even that long.
Okay. So you made no stops between Vernus and here?
No.
And when did you go to Vernus again?
About noon.
About noon. Okay. Do you remember what happened when you were going around here?
No, not really. I pulled into the parking lot, and I thought I was driving up to the boat club, and evidently I was driving right into the pavilion.
Which direction did you drive from?
I live...
When you got to the parking lot, what happened?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
A police officer goes to talk to the driver of the vehicle in order to find out what had been going on and what she had been doing in the time leading up to the crash. She seems calm and relaxed and cooperates with the questioning.
What did you drink there? Did you drink water, pop, anything?
I had a glass of wine.
Just one glass of wine?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you have one glass of wine at Verna's. After that, what happens? You leave at noon. Where do you go?
Came home.
Pretty quickly, the officer on the scene tries to establish how much Marcella had been drinking that day and whether she was fit to be driving.
Law requires that you submit to a preliminary breath analysis upon request of a peace officer. Your refusal to submit as requested shall result in you being charged with a civil infraction with a penalty of up to a $100 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a preliminary breath test. I just want to see where you're at with your alcohol level. If you have one glass of wine, it's going to be really low, okay?
Okay.
So just go ahead and blow like you're blowing a balloon, okay? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Thank you.
The officer verifies how much Marcella has had to drink and logs the results as evidence.
I just want to make sure everything is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that was so scary.
Yeah. Give me one second, sorry. When you got to the parking lot, what happened?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Marcella seems concerned and worried, though the officer still keeps focused on establishing the facts of the incident.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being like you're stone cold sober, you can drive perfectly, 10 being you're passed out drunk, where do you think you're at right now?
7.
A 7? Okay. Do you think you're okay to drive?
I wouldn't want to drive. No.
You wouldn't let you drive?
No.
Okay.
With the evidence pointing towards one conclusion, the officer tries to establish if Marcella herself thinks she is capable and fully functioning at that moment. And though she answers, she also tries to laugh it off.
I was drinking quite a bit there, but I've kind of switched over and I'm doing a free now, more so because of the...
What's a free?
It's alcohol-free. Alcohol-free Cabernet.
Alcohol-free Cabernet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like I guess it was like O'Doul's, O'Doul's of wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I still have an occasional regular, but I've been trying to stay away from regular because of the...
Is that what you had at Verna's, or was it regular?
I had a regular.
Okay. And it was just one glass?
Yes.
You recall who your server was?
The detectives continue the line of inquiries about Marcella's drinking habits, specifically on the day of the incident.
We know that you weren't drinking alcohol-free wine.
That's correct.
Okay. You had a little much. Would you agree?
Again, I don't remember.
Okay. So, we know that you had a little much.
Okay.
Okay. And...
But because of the tests the officer did on the scene, the detectives already know that Marcella's alcohol blood level had been tested to establish this evidential fact.
Again, I just had one glass at Verna's.
Do you drink hard liquor?
No.
Vodka?
No.
Beer?
No.
Okay. So, one glass at Verna's.
Despite this, and despite what she told her initial arresting officer, Marcella was adamant that she didn't drink enough to be over the legal limit.
What's the next thing you remember?
Waking up in the patrol car.
So you woke up in the police car?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, basically, we didn't know the events after that?
No, I don't recall anything prior to that at all.
Marcella states that she doesn't remember the incident at all, and that everything that happened is a mystery to her. Detectives need to establish whether this was because of the alcohol or something else.
We gather evidence, okay, and part of that evidence is, say, like surveillance footage and this, that, and the other. And so what we do then is we create a timeline, and that's what I'm trying to do here with you. Okay. So we know you're at Verna's at 12:10, and then you say you go to the boat club, right to the boat club. So that's not exactly accurate, because I have surveillance footage of you at the boat club at 3 o'clock.
Okay, that could be.
Okay, so that's why I'm trying to get a full account.
Having given Marcella a chance to tell them how much she had been drinking, they reveal the actual results of her breathalyzer test that checks the level of alcohol in the body, indicating she was above the legal limit.
Those are puzzle pieces. Now, however, a lot of times people's statements aren't always 100% truthful and accurate, but however, there is accuracy there to where it makes sense. And so with this puzzle, or like a picture, I'm trying to paint a big picture or put together this big puzzle. And so I noticed that you had a phone. There was a phone in your car.
Yeah.
You got a black iPhone? Was it an iPhone? Okay. Now, these days, you know, part of our job and putting those pieces together is a lot of times people will use a phone as like their attachment. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And so we can fill in those puzzle pieces sometimes if we can see like who the person called or text or anything like that. And so would you want us to do that to paint an accurate picture?
Sure.
And is there a passcode on the phone?
Yes.
Marcella tries to explain herself and the timeline of events, but detectives are trained to look for inconsistencies, and they seem pretty unconvinced by her explanation of events.
Questions that are unanswered. Okay? Because, again, you're a 2-1, a .21. Okay, and 1 glass of wine does not do that. 2 glasses of wine doesn't do that. 3 glasses of wine doesn't do that. 4 glasses of wine doesn't do that.
Yeah, that surprises me.
5 glasses of wine doesn't do that. 6 glasses of wine doesn't do that. Okay? And even given your body type and, you know, other things, I'll give you, you know, probably 7 or 8 could get you there. Okay? The time of downsizing what we do is over. Okay? Minimizing what we do is over. So we're going to start fresh.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a very blunt question.
Okay.
Are you an alcoholic?
I don't believe so.
Detectives then start to lay out their thoughts about the case and explain that her statements don't quite line up with the evidential facts.
And when we asked them about Marcella, what do you think they said?
Probably I used to be a pretty heavy drinker.
Try again.
Pardon?
Try again.
That I'm a heavy drinker?
Yes. Honest. Do you have a problem? Are you an alcoholic? How many glasses of wine did you have yesterday? Because it was excessive.
Yeah.
You would agree it was excessive.
And I'm surprised by that. I really am. I didn't think that I drank that much. So I'm shocked when you tell me that 6 glasses of wine, that's a lot of wine.
Right.
So like...
Sometimes we'll have a glass of wine with dinner.
Right. But is this like a daily kind of... we have a glass of wine with dinner? A typical dinner consists of...
I wouldn't say every day.
No.
No.
On 7 days a week, how many days would you say you have a glass of wine?
5.
5 out of 7? Okay.
Still, despite being faced with facts, Marcella continues to try to downplay and minimize her drinking.
You know, I've been doing this job for 23 years, Marcella. specifically investigations for 8. Okay, and so I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people that, you know, try to deceive me. Okay, and at this point, you are trying to deceive us with how much you drank yesterday and where you were at between noon and 3.
Yeah, I understand.
Get it?
Oh, sure.
So this is your one opportunity to tell us the truth and look truthful and not deceitful, because there's only going to be one of 2 ways that you're seen. One way, you're a liar, no good criminal.
Okay.
All right. Second way, she's sorry for what happened. She wants to own up to what she did, and she wants to take responsibility. Who is the Marcella we're talking to? Is it a liar who's not going to tell us and be truthful? Or are you going to be truthful, remorseful for what happened?
Oh, absolutely.
Detectives lay it all out and let Marcella know that they don't actually believe what she is telling them, pushing her to reveal the truth.
So you woke up in the police car.
Yeah.
Okay. And then basically we know the events after that.
No, I don't recall anything prior to that at all.
Okay. Okay. Each different, situation is a puzzle. And so I look for puzzle pieces. That's my job. I'm a impartial fact finder.
Okay.
Despite that opportunity, Marcella continues with her story that she has no recollection of the events or how much she had drunk, something that leaves detectives frustrated and angry.
Okay. So that's why I'm trying to get a full account.
Detectives get Marcella to make one admission and take some accountability for what had happened, as opposed to her continuing to spin her web.
1.
Oh, okay.
And so 3, again, between that 12:10 and 3. Now, part of the job, with collecting, video surveillance and putting pieces together, is we talk to people. Okay, just like how I'm talking with you, I take people's statements, and those are puzzle pieces. Now, however, a lot of times people's statements aren't always 100% truthful and accurate.
Before ending the interrogation, the detectives make one last bold move, showing her a picture of the injured children, something they hoped would shock her into telling the truth.
I'm trying to paint a big picture or put together this big puzzle.
Okay.
And so I noticed that you had a phone. There was a phone in your car.
Yes.
You got a black iPhone? Was it an iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes if we can see like who the person called or text or anything like that. And so would you want us to do that to paint an accurate picture?
Sure.
Still, with Marcella offering no answers, detectives wrap up the interrogation and leave her alone in the room to contemplate things. But was she lying about her drinking habits, or simply in denial? Ultimately, the evidence against Marcella was undeniable.
To be 5. Instead of celebrating his 5th birthday, we buried them.
Just heartbreaking remarks from the parents of 2 young children who were killed when an SUV slammed into a birthday party.
Marcella was found guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated causing death, and 5 counts of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated causing serious injury. Evidence found that she was more than double the legal limit, and the judge took this all into consideration when handing down the sentence.
Thinking about what I was going to say for over a year. All this terror, tragedy. I can't help it. I'm so very, very sorry for the loss of your children. I pray for them every day.
Marcella was given 20 to 50 years behind bars, meaning that she would spend the rest of her natural life incarcerated. For Elena and Zane's family, no sentence can undo the loss. A birthday celebration turned into a lifelong nightmare, all because of Marcella's decision to drink and drive.